My name is Andri. I've been in Ireland for close to 13 months now, originally from Cape Town in South Africa, currently living in the lovely seaside town of Skerries in Dublin. For us, it was actually a rather impulsive decision. We decided over the course of 3 weeks to move, and within 3 months we had sold everything. My husband will say it was the Guinness that brought us here, but there was actually a lot of contributing factors at that time. It was the severe drought in Cape Town, looming day zero, the need for a bit of adventure, and obviously Ireland with its green and rain offered a lot of promises. And so we decided to take the leap of faith and move to this lovely country. I think I was first struck by the absolute natural beauty of Ireland and the peaceful country living wherever you go, whether it's Dublin, one of the biggest cities, or to the rural towns. There's this lovely sense of a more relaxed, slow-paced country-style living. And I think that moving from a big city like Cape Town actually impressed on us and made it, you immediately feel like it's home and you feel like you're part of the local society. One of the hardest things was to spend the first 3 months of the move here alone. Due to work permit limitations, my husband couldn't immediately join me here, and he had actually had to return to South Africa for 3 months, and it was quite hard being in a new country, getting used to the local culture and systems, and having to do that on your own. But luckily he was fortunate enough to join me, and we have been enjoying it ever since. Obviously, it's much less of an adrenaline rush, much less trauma and interpersonal violence-related patients that we see. But I've actually enjoyed being able to slow down a bit, being able to spend time with my patients. It's a much older population, a lot of geriatric patients, but I must say there's a lot to be said about how fulfilling it is dealing with an elderly demented patient, spending some time with them, chatting to them, finding out what their needs and their concerns are. I do miss the action-filled resusces, I do miss the trauma patients, but this has brought a different aspect to my clinical skills, abilities, and to my clinical practice that I haven't necessarily been exposed to in the South African setting. So obviously a big decision like this is always a very personal decision. Ireland is a lovely country because of the people, because of the culture, and even the hospital setting being much more resourced offers a lot for a doctor from South Africa coming here. It isn't easy moving away from family and friends, it isn't easy leaving your culture behind, but definitely you will feel welcomed and embraced by the Irish culture, and you would definitely feel at home here. And in terms of, it doesn't need to be a lifetime commitment or a permanent move. It can be a temporary thing, it can be a fun-filled year or two, and then you could look into perhaps extending your time as you wish. I think, if I have to be honest, and I thought about this a lot, I think the best thing for me is how easy it is to live here. And I think to kind of explain that statement, I've only got 2 keys on my key holder currently, one for my car, one for my front door. I can take a train or a bus or the Lewis and get where I need to be within 40 minutes. We can, after a lovely dinner in Dublin, walk to the train station at 11:30 at night and make it home safely. We can travel 40 minutes and you're in the beautiful countryside, or you can travel 40 minutes and be in a big city like Dublin. I think it's easy living here. A lot of the stress and the strain of daily life in South Africa has been removed, and that makes a big difference. You don't really realize it immediately, but after being here for a little over a year, you can start seeing the changes in the way that you perceive life, the way you perceive people, and that was definitely a positive change for me.